Hello, I'm Tom Vindevik with Marriott Solutions Architect. Just a little hotel company based out of Bethesda, Maryland. Right now, we're looking at about 5,700 properties, 110 countries, and delivering excellent service for almost a century. So, most hotels, airlines, trains, many of your bigger reservation systems have for years and years and continue to rely on mainframes. So, and Marriott is no exception to that. Right now, it processes 40 plus billion reservations. The availability, very close to 5 nines. So now we get to why Couchbase in general. Large companies using it for similar use cases. So when we did this, we really looked at Amadeus. Amadeus doing a very similar thing to what we're doing in our infrastructure. And again, like I said, when you look in the travel industry and you look at folks with TPF systems, and we're all kind of related in some way or another between airlines and such. So they all look at each other to see what each other's doing and who's having success. Like I said, that was back in 2014. It was my first project as a solutions architect in Marriott. So fortunately, it was successful. And we're close to actually implementing this probably early next year. This is the same data center. And we've got a kind of a three node caching cluster, which is this guy right here, which actually sits below this REST API, which you could see actually is fed into by Marriott.com and the Marriott mobile application. So a pretty significant amount of traffic and revenue actually flowing through there. And of course, right now it's calling the reservation system back in for its data. And in this case, the 6-node Couchbase revenue management cluster, which is N1QL enabled, we have our revenue management systems back here that are actually using this 6-node cluster and actually doing some queries of our reservations data cluster here, which is another 6-node cluster, which is N1QL enabled. And if you notice from kind of our previous picture, this compute node is actually doubled in size also. So, and this was also 4 nodes earlier. Now we've increased its size and made it N1QL. So just in a year, this has actually grown significantly from a Couchbase perspective and a use case perspective, and will grow significantly as we go along.
Hello, take it you can all hear me. I'm Ian Merrington from Sky Broadcasting. I'm an ex-Oracle DBA. I'm now a Couchbase DBA, although somehow my official job title is somehow a persistence engineer, which I don't like at all. But so Sky Sports, we've got all the Premier League and major sporting stuff in Europe. Nah. What about if you're in a hotel maybe in Europe, there'd be a Sky News channel? Oh yeah, I've seen that, yeah. So we're not just Sky News, we're a big TV company. We're kind of a big deal in Europe. We're Europe's leading entertainment content business. And as well as that, we've got a 4 times Tour de France winning cycling team. And from about 2005, we began offering a streaming platform that allowed our customers to consume the content from their laptops and mobile phones. So I'm primarily here to talk about the actual identity platform, which is the gateway to this streaming platform. It provides full sign-in, sign-up functionality across the whole of Sky's online estate. So it's not. We provide traffic analysis for security and fraud detection. We feed into the business intelligence team, and you get that very distinct 2-peak kind of ramp-up for a football match. So you get the big peak. There's hundreds of thousands of users logging in over about a 20-minute period before the game, and then you get a second spike at halftime, and you get a spike maybe after each goal or controversial moment. But then along came Game of Thrones. We'd never seen this kind of demand before. What we hadn't fully taken into account was that Now TV were now offering an entertainment pass, and it had just come online just before it. And our highest ever load that we've ever had was during Game of Thrones last year, when Tottenham and Chelsea were playing in the run-up to the end of the Football League. It kind of was the game that decided the championship. So, but we passed with flying colours, so it's all good now. But where next? There was still Oracle, and it was still a sticking point with the business. We want to perform our ad hoc queries. Couchbase came up with the goods. Nickel gets released, and we're all good at that. The ability to run queries against the database proved invaluable recently. We had to do some analysis, and it was 6 o'clock on a Friday night. The business intelligence team had gone home. We've got the business execs, we've got the security team just yelling at us, like, we need to know which customers are affected, who they are, when did they last change their password, when did they do this, blah, blah. And thankfully, we had Nickel, we had the Couchbase, the JCB, and we were able to provide these queries straight away. And for that, the team got much kudos, much thanks from within the business. And we're growing the Couchbase community within Sky. So we love Sky. We love Couchbase at Sky.
My name is Jason Williams. I'm principal architect with Cars.com. This is my colleague, Bruce Sawatsky, also in our architecture group. So if you look at our mission statement is to be the leading decision engine that moves people through the car ownership cycle with transparent, fun, and engaging experiences. We have approximately 5 million listings on the site at any given time. It's a very rich data model. It includes a number of facets about the vehicle that you would expect. So what are various options on the vehicle? What's the trim, the make and model? Seller's notes, which is also our user profile. I think a very common use case. For example, we're creating a product called My Garage that lets people come in and tell us what type of vehicles that they have. That way we can set them up for service alerts, et cetera. We can't really control what people are going to want to tell us about their vehicle. Of course, our product data, we have an offline master data management system. We needed a way to serve that data at scale. We did a lot of initial research. We looked at some other platforms. We did a number of POCs. And then another thing that I just can't stress enough is we relied on Gartner and some other independent research to really kind of vet out this decision for us. I particularly, really love and really crazy about Nickel. I think it's very important to have that declarative query language, much like SQL, that people know and love. And then, of course, the cross data center replication, I mentioned that a little bit. We're using that as our DR solution. And I think that in the future, we'll also be looking at that as part of our cloud solution as a way to help us get to the cloud and then also have multiple availability zones for our data.
So this is our vehicle detail page. What we wanted to do was add a new module on a page to display activity on that particular vehicle. So we wanted to add views, email, and saves. So Cars, of course, we track activity off our website for analytic purposes. But in this case, what we wanted to do was to present this back to the shoppers in real-time fashion. So we wanted to create a new module that would present prices in a way that would provide more price transparency to our shoppers. So what it does is it lists all the prices by feature, and then it breaks it down to a total MSRP and presents it as a discount from the dealer price. Normally, if we built a solution like this, we would have to store the data in a database, and then we would have to, again, persist the data in distributed cache. And with Couchbase, this really simplifies our architecture since we just write it to Couchbase. And we also like that a lot of our developers, since we're Oracle mostly shop for quite a number of years, a lot of developers that have heavy experience with SQL, and Nickel, is familiar to them.